Hi there, Sanjay Gangal from EDACafe. I'm here with Ranjan Chatterjee, VP Smart Factory Solutions at Cimetrix by PDF Solutions. Hello, Ranjan.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us, Ranjan. Can you briefly tell us about Cimetrix?
Yeah. So Cimetrix and PDF, we are part of PDF Solutions. We are an analytics company. It's a software company that does analytics in semiconductor and electronics manufacturing. So we have software that does yield improvement, statistical process control, FDC, fault detection and classification, as well as we have a whole set of tools for productivity, quality, collecting data from various sources at scale, right? So we are some of our customers are the biggest, most expensive factories in the world. So how do you scale all that? How do you collect all the data and then get it to where you can visualize it as well as act on that data, right? So in future, we anticipate factories will be run like data centers, right? So you won't have that many people. The other problem is that there is a dearth of people, as you can see. You have lots of factories being built, but how do you staff them? And you saw TSMC wants to get like 200 people from Taiwan into Phoenix. So how do you do that? So our software encapsulates all this knowledge and helps bring up a factory or run a factory with the right quality, right yield, and right productivity.
Okay, and you have something called a Sapience data platform. Tell us about that.
So Sapience Data Platform is the underpinning behind all our analytics software. So it helps collect data from all kinds of different types of machines at scale. And if you have a thick pipe where you have a machine, like some of the machines, like the EUV machines, they can generate gigabytes of data per second. So then how do you collect all that kind of data? So we have a data platform that can actually scale over thousands of machines. And then it's a cloud native platform. So it uses software like Kubernetes, which helps scale the software from one machine to thousands of machines, as well as the applications and the data pipes. And then it helps get the data to the applications so that they can also run in a cloud native manner.
Okay. And you have something called Sapience Insight. What is that?
So Sapience Insight, and we also have a thing called Goedel, Sapience Goedel. So these are applications that sit on the data platform, right? So the Insight is a productivity application. So it does OEE, is overall equipment effectiveness. So E10, E10 is a semiconductor standard for determining when a machine is productive, when a machine is idle. So we have a nice analytics tool for figuring out how to get that data from the platform to an analytics tool like Insight. And Goedel is for quality. So we actually pipe that thing into different, what we call data collection plans. So you can decide on which variables and which sensors you want to collect at which frequency. Like suppose you want to do it at 10 hertz, then we get that data and then we send it to an analytics tool. These are all open source analytics tools that you can choose. And we use Kibana, which is a widely used open source tool. And then you can also send it to AI ML notebooks, like you can write it in Python or Jupyter notebook and do AI models for machine learning.
Okay, and how do you handle this humongous, immense amount of data that is generated by these modern fabs? And what are the challenges of managing this data?
So one of the biggest things is that how do you scale over? So a lot of people do, POCs, proof of concept, things and that, and those go well. But then suddenly you have to do it at scale. So how do you go from 10 machines or 20 machines to 2,000 and then 4,000, right? And then the other challenge people have is how do you do it over multiple geographies? So how do you collect data from, some EMS guys have 90 factories, right, of different kinds, different sizes. So Ideally, the value of data is where you're collecting it at scale, where you can make decisions. Because if you have some data is missing some kind of information, then you cannot make the decisions, or you cannot rely on those decisions. So what we do is we use open source cloud native software like Kubernetes and stuff, which helps scale both horizontally and vertically. And we also have on-prem version if you want to just install. We have a smaller facility in that, but we also have a hybrid where you collect the data at the factory and then send it to the cloud for analytics or an app, or you can do everything on the cloud. So because of this reason, we are able to scale the amount of data. You don't have to worry about, okay, now I did this POC with 20 machines, how do I go to 2000? We have an ability to scale this.
Okay. Just hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the industry is pretty reluctant to replace existing shop floor applications. How does the Sapience manufacturing hub integrate with the legacy systems in wafer fabs? And can it work alongside the systems without necessitating any major overhauls?
That's a very good question. So, you have heard they say that, God created Earth in 7 days because there was no installed base, right? So the thing is that if you don't have installed base, you can do a lot of things. But you are right, there are factories already existing, and even new ones copy the old ones because they don't want to take too much risk, right? So then how do you introduce new technologies and new features into the old things? So there are two ways to do that. You have to let the older stuff still run while you have another pipe into the same machine. So a lot of these machines, because they are on Ethernet, you can run multiple pipes into the machine. So the existing one has to keep running for control purposes, and then you can run a new pipe to the machine that does analytics. So initially, that's the phase one of any kind of this kind of transition, where you let the existing thing run, and then you add the second pipe and you add analytics. So it is not controlling anything. It is just getting data and providing you with visualization and decision-making tools. Then the next step would be where you start doing little bit of control. So you can do recipe changes and stuff like that, right? And then finally, you get to the point where you can actually take the decision and then do something on the machine, make some changes in the sensor data. I mean, you can make some tweaks or you can run a new recipe. So it has to be done in stages. Now, if you have a greenfield operation where you are building a new factory, and now in the world, as you know, there's lots of wafer fabs being built in every country. So if it's a new greenfield operation, then it's a little bit easier, because when they're starting the ramp up, you can start the ramp up with the older existing systems and slowly move to the newer systems as you get to a higher volume, right? So that's another reason. The last reason that people are doing this is that a lot of these legacy systems were written in software and systems that are old now, right? I mean, we have some systems that are running a 300 millimeter fab that were written in like Pascal, right? So that when you get new guys that you are hiring, then they will not be able to either maintain, or they're not willing to do that. They want to write everything in Python and stuff like that. So that's another reason that the skill set to actually maintain these old systems is going away. So that's another reason that they're driving the newer systems in this phased approach.
Okay, and can you discuss the tangible benefits that an electronics or semiconductor manufacturer have observed or can expect to see after implementing the Sapience manufacturing hub?
So one of the key things is, and I can name, like Plessey is one of our customers. They make these sensor things for VR goggles and stuff. And it used to take them 6 months. By the time a machine comes in, you get all the data, and then you connect it to the host systems. It takes anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months. And they started using our software, and then they were able to integrate in a matter of hours. Within less than a day, they were able to get the machine, connect the things, and get that. So that is the value proposition for Sapience, is that you don't have to do too much stuff. There's an auto discovery function too. So you can get a lot of the data with that auto discovery function, and then you can do some of the tweaking for manually to collect the data. So the whole point is that you are going to get to the data faster, better, and cheaper. And then the data is also accurate. So this is real-time streaming data. This is not where it's stored or it's a log file. You are getting it as soon as it happens, right? So one of the things is our whole system is event driven. So you actually, when the event happens, you collect the sensor data and you send it. So everything is time stamped. So that's the value of it. And that's, so basically you can get to everything that you were doing for, like it took 6 months, you probably can do it in 6 hours.
Okay, and artificial intelligence and ChatGPT is all the hub right now, and everybody is talking about it. Does Cimetrix have any plans to incorporate artificial intelligence and ChatGPT type functionality in its products anytime soon?
So yes, we have already done it. So in this version of the Sapience platform, we are incorporating things where you can actually take in the LLM models, you have this thing called RAG, like it's an algorithm that will help you understand how you can feed the equipment specific data into the model. And then, so because when we connect to a machine, we create a machine model, and then that says when the state transitions happen, what kind of data you collect. So we are feeding that kind of model information into the machines directly from manuals and stuff, and then using a machine model, AI ML model, to actually feed it into the analytics tools. So they actually know what this machine looks like and how it works, right? Mm-hmm. And then we also have a model ops platform in PDF that will help the customer build a machine learning model based on the data collected from the machine. So we are looking at these AI ML to actually speed up the process by which you can connect and build a machine model, and then for which you can also build a analytics model.
Okay, and what is the best way for our audience to find out more about Sapience data platform on the internet?
So you can definitely go to the www.pdfsolutions.com, and then there is a Sapience webpage which has all the information on that.
Okay, and Ranjan, last year when we talked, you mentioned that you've been walking 2 German Shepherds. Is that still continuing?
Yes, that's right. They have become bigger now, so they're 4 years and 3 years now. But yes, that is still one of my activities.
Okay, and can you share anything new about yourself that most people at Cimetrix who work with you don't know about you?
The most people that I think the fact that I hang out with those dogs and go out and walk and stuff is probably the most interesting thing. Other than that, I mean, after COVID, we are traveling a lot now. So most people are seeing more of more of me now, because for that, during that COVID time, we didn't do much, but now everything is back. So that's another interesting thing. My travel, more than 3/4 of the year I travel. So that's all back to normal now.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ranjan, for taking time to record this interview. Have a great day and stay safe.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this is Sanjay Gangal from EDACafe.